Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffy Kennedy, author of fantasy romance and romantic fantasy. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Mm, mm, my nose itches, but the coffee's good too. Today is Thursday, September 16th. And guess what, you guys? The book is done. The book is done. Woo! Totally finished it yesterday. I need to go back over the last 70 pages this morning and make sure I didn't. I know that there's one thread I need to address, um, but it'll only take a couple of lines. And otherwise, yeah, it's done. Came in at, well, we can just see exactly 94,570. I tell you what, I can predict this stuff, It's like I may end up having a few more words added today. I know for sure. But it's going to come out really. I mean, we're there. We're almost at 95,000. I got a lot done yesterday. I ended up with 4,686 words for the day. I started early, which always helps. I skipped doing my blog post in the morning, which is why I don't, theoretically, why I don't podcast on Wednesdays. Except a lot of times I end up skipping the blog post. I don't know. Do you guys read blog posts anymore? I'm just starting to feel like even the SFF7 blog post. Um, I don't know. I mainly keep doing it because it's the only time I blog, but it's like, just feels like engagement's down. Feels like engagement's down overall across everything right now for whatever reason. I don't know if it's like the kids going back to school or people are preoccupied with stuff. Um, Maybe a lot of people having to go back to their offices. Hard to say. Um, but I've seen a lot of authors complaining that like sales are down, and yeah, people just aren't on the internet right now. It seems still. So I skipped the blog post yesterday and didn't put on makeup or do my hair or nothing. Didn't have to do my podcast, so I started in working on. Well, I can tell you at what time. Started writing at around oh no, this is the wrong spreadsheet, Jeffy. So many spreadsheets. I love my spreadsheets. um well, I started at 8 yesterday, 7:54. So it wasn't dreadfully early. It's past that right now, 8 o'clock now. um so then I got an hour of writing done before Dorinda chimed in. I actually started slightly earlier than that. It's true, because I was putting in some edits from Dorinda's read the night before. And yeah, and then just really got on a roll finishing. And I thought it would be really nice to have it finished, to have it all drafted yesterday. And I finished, I had a exec meeting for Sefwa at 2, and I finished the draft at like 10 till 2. Um, Came to those final words, and it ended up being almost 5,000 for the day, which I don't seem to be able to do if I try to plan it that way. But um, and normally I would have stopped at like my 3,000 or 3,500, but obviously it had to be done by today. I have to send it by noon. So yeah, now I can just go through those. I can generally go get through, revise about 70 pages in 3 hours, and I think this will be light polishing. So hooray! Hooray! Dragon's Daughter is done. I love the ending. And Dorinda, she's so funny. She's like, "This is my favorite book." She's like, "I know I say that about everyone, but this is my new favorite." This one is more romantic, I think, than the others. Just like fully leaning into the romance. There's some delightful stuff about it. Fairy tales. Love, power, and fairy tale endings. That used to be my like author tagline when I was first starting out in fiction. I still like it, although I'm not sure it conveys what I want it to. It actually encapsulates what I write pretty well, but I'm not sure for someone who does isn't already familiar if it does much. So that's my plan for the day to do those things. I have a few SIFWA things to catch up on, and Dorinda's gone tomorrow, and I might take the day off. I was still deciding. Um, I have I have multiple writing projects waiting for me. I do have to start drafting Bright Familiar, or not Bright Familiar. Jeez, no, because Bright Familiar is already published. Gray Magic, um, and but I don't have to start that. Really? Oh no, I was thinking that doesn't sound right, but my spreadsheet, the column was in the wrong place. I don't need to start that until October 12th is sort of my drop dead date to start that book. Um, I need to write the novella for our midwinter holiday fantasy romance anthology, and I do not know what I'm going to write, so I need to sort that out. I have to write this more words on the thing for Sarah. She's been patiently waiting, and I want to add to Wedded to Darkness, which is what I may do tomorrow. I may just try to add a few thousand words to Wedded to Darkness so I can keep that going. I haven't added to it since July. I know I'm a bad kitty cat. Um, it was hard for me to keep that going and do the drafting. So we'll see. But the Dragon's Daughter will be with uh, my proofreader for the next couple of days, and she will send it back Saturday or Sunday. I have to send it to the formatter by Sunday evening. So at some point this weekend, I'll be working on it, going through her edits, which should be pretty straightforward. I won't do a full read through. And then I upload Monday for next Friday release. Or is it next Thursday release? Do we know? It's the 24th. What kind of a day is the 24th? Let's see if it's on this spreadsheet. If I can avoid opening my calendar. Oh, yeah, it's next Friday. Okay, that's what I thought. For some reason, the math wasn't making sense to me. So, yeah, ever onward to the next project, right? Yeah. So I'm actually feeling pretty good, even though yesterday was a major marathon. I might be still on the high, but I'm I may have a little bit of book brain. I could feel it talking to you guys now. Oh, look, I have a weird thing standing up in my hair. There we go. The sun's coming in. Love that sunshine. So yeah, maybe it could be once I send this that I'll crash. We shall see. But yeah, good to get that done, and really happy with the ending. I would I would be interested to see on my read through today the climactic scene, um, the stuff that I wrote on Monday and Tuesday was very tiring to write, and I'm concerned that that will be have gaps and be ragged. But so far, Assistant Corrine and Dorinda have both read it, and they said it's good. So I keep feeling there's got to be gaping lacunae in there, but maybe not. I know I had things that were on my mind that I was going to mention, but Not really thinking of them right now. Tell me about yourself. What are you doing? Um, yeah, there's a few things on my mind that are things that I can't talk about. Business things, stuff with things. Um, so I'm having to filter those. It's never a good thing when I have to filter. Yeah, so this weekend's going to be a combination of relaxing and refilling the well. Although I'm not feeling very well drained right now. So I do think it helped to take last weekend off. So I'm not like, running on fumes as I have been on some other books. Not feeling like I need that taking a week off between books. So we'll see. I know I keep saying that. We'll see. David also got me this new like extra potent vitamin D supplement. So, it could be that. It could be that I'm just like feeling vitamin energized. Oh, I know something I didn't tell you guys. Yeah, I don't think I told you because I have been in this book finishing fugue state. Um, we decided to cancel going to NINC. Did I tell you guys that? Um, I know my mom asked me, and I was like, didn't I mention it on the podcast? So, yes, NINC conference in Florida, Novelists Incorporated. Um, I was going to go on Tuesday. And so that's partly why I'm talking about what I'm writing next week, because I had cleared the week to be at that conference because it's hard to write at conferences. And um, I think it was a week ago or two, Dorinda and I decided that we were not going to go. Um, we both just had a bad feeling about it. Even though we're both vaccinated, um, just going to the conference, right now in Florida, there are 1,200 people a day are dying. Dying. 1,200 people a day. And my friend Megan just got back from Florida, and she says you wouldn't know it to be there because people are just like tra la tra lay. Um, but yeah, it's not that I'm concerned about getting sick, although I don't want to get sick because I can't afford the time. But and I'm not around vulnerable people, but I still wouldn't want to have to quarantine. But you know, the odds of contracting COVID, especially Delta variant, goes way up in circumstances like that. And it was starting to feel like too much just to, I don't know how many of you guys have flown since this, but like having to wear the mask on the plane the whole time. Masks, I mean, the planes have never been the ideal environment for breathing anyway. And, but um, wearing that mask for the whole flight when we went to San Diego, it's it just wears on you. It's just annoying. And I'm totally mask compliant. I believe in wearing masks. It's not that I object to wearing a mask. And I think that the complaints about masks are stupid in the grand scheme of things. But the prospect of having to wear a mask on a cross country flight, all the way to Florida from New Mexico was just like, ugh, I was not looking forward to that. And we were going to have to be masked at the conference itself, which I think is what they need to be doing. But I was again, ugh, I don't want to have to be wearing a mask all day for these things. And then the other piece that you really have to take into consideration is that like the Florida hospitals are so completely maxed out right now. I mean their ICUs are overflowing. They are out of beds. So if something happens, like if you get an inflamed appendix or get in a car wreck or something like that, you might not be able to get medical care. And it's like, well, that's kind of a roll of the dice there. Um, for pretty high stakes. And And then it just came down to that Dorinda and I were both feeling like we just didn't want to go. That we just had a bad feeling about going. And sometimes, I don't know. David and I were having a conversation about that this morning about trusting your intuition and trusting your subconscious. And I believe very strongly that yes, our we learn things from our subconscious or self-conscious. We are self-conscious about the subconscious. The birds agree. But we also have our consciousness for a reason, and our consciousness has to make critical thinking decisions. And so yes, we can run on intuition, but we also need to weigh the odds on things. So it was interesting that both Dorinda and I were having a strong intuition that we shouldn't go. And then we talked out like the overall implications and the odds. And we just decided no. And also, she's behind on what she's writing. And I was feeling like I was behind, certainly pulling this book tighter than I wanted to, and with these multiple projects ahead. So we were like, you know what? Let's just cancel. So unfortunately, we have to eat the registration cost, but that's the price you pay. We were both on Southwest, so we get credits for our flights, and we won't be spending the other money to be there. I feel like I'm crowned in sunshine. If you're on video, the sun's just like right at the top of my head. There, there we go. So yeah, and as soon as we canceled everything, we both felt a tremendous sense of relief. So that tells you something. I do think that there's a reason we have both the conscious and the subconscious. Great pieces on the table. And besides, it's so beautiful here this time of year. So beautiful. Autumnal. Um, yeah. So, well, I'm not going to sit here and babble about nothing. Today's a shorter episode. I love you all. Thank you all for sticking with me. Thanks for sending the words of encouragement. I'm curious if you do catch up on this podcast at some point. Tell me why you're so busy. Why are people so busy right now? What are people focused on? Interested to know. All right. I'll remind you all that First Cup of Coffee is part of the Frolic Media Podcast Network, and you will find more podcasts that you love at frolic.media/podcasts. And I will talk to you all tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye bye.